Hey folks, Judd Zolgad, Derek Wetmore, 1500ESPN.com. Thanks for coming to the website. Let's get right to it, Derek. An interesting game today. Twins lose 9-7 to the Yankees, but that's not the storyline. The storyline is this. Ricky Nolasco, your four-year, $49 million man in the starting rotation, 2 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 1 walk, and then he gets yanked. And post-game, you asked a very frustrated, upset, take your pick on word, Twins manager Ron Gardenhire about what the plan is with Nolasco, and
Gardenhire was not happy post game. He said, and he's right. He said Nolasco didn't even give the Twins a chance today. He said we were down 6-0 after 2 innings, and then eventually it was 9-0 after 4 innings. They did fight back. I mean, give them credit. They scored 7 runs today.
Sure.
Lost 9-7, but you can't have starting pitching like that, especially from your most expensive guy. If it was another starter, Judd,
Yep.
I would imagine he gets bumped from the rotation, no question about it. So I asked, said, is bullpen a possibility for Nolasco? Gardenhire did not directly answer that question, but he didn't outright deny it. He said, we're considering a whole bunch of options. We're trying to figure out what the next move is. I don't know what the other chances would be. Maybe you skip a start.
Yep.
Maybe, you can't send him to the minors. So a bullpen is a possibility for Ricky Nolasco, but it's not been decided yet. It's just clear that they can't continue with the status quo.
2 things. Let's start with the potential level of disconnect here. And I ask this because Gardenhire clearly very frustrated.
Yeah.
Nolasco came out and talked for just over a minute after in the post-game locker room. And he said, got off to a terrible start, realized that, and I wanted to go back, and they didn't put me back in there. And I sense from his end, he had told him, hey, let me at least try to pitch through this. And they said, forget it, day over. What do you think is a potential level of disconnect right now about how Nolasco wants to go about his business and a very frustrated manager and pitching coach probably?
Well, I think that's just kind of the competitive nature of Nolasco. I think he probably wanted to right the ship. He wanted to prove that he's not as terrible as he showed today, because he's not. His track record is impressive. It's baffling to me that he has a 5.90 ERA through 18 starts, given his, the past 10 years of his career, how solid he's been. He's always a 200 innings guy, and I think, yes, pitchers' wins and ERA, those things can be overrated as far as judging his performance, but there is something to be said for the durability of a pitcher consistently making good starts, and Ricky Nolasco has not done that at all this season. I don't blame the Twins for pulling him, though. Nolasco did not give them a chance. After 2 innings, the Twins were out of that ball game. It's a minor miracle that they were able to even compete towards the end of the game. So I don't blame the Twins at all for pulling him, and I think it's probably just Nolasco's competitive drive coming through, saying that he wanted to keep going back out there. That's I don't see any tension there. That's all that is to me.
And my sense is that if you look at the tract of starts among Nolasco and Gibson, now Gibson's been up and down, but Gibson's young, and I think they think he's learning. I think the frustration,
younger.
Yes, younger. I think the frustration with Nolasco in this sense is you sign him to a $49 million 4-year contract, 5th-year club option. You make a major investment, and still you're seeing the starts go like this. He came back last week. What was that? Tuesday night? Is that right? Against Kansas City,
where he had 6 innings, 8 hits, but only allowed 1 earned run.
And I wouldn't say he was great, but he wasn't bad. It was the type of start where you say, okay, this is something this is a Ricky Nolasco start that you could build off. And then he comes back today and absolutely just gets hammered again. And as you said to Gardenhire, there's now, 6 or 7 of these just complete clinkers.
Yeah, I think he's had, I should double-check the numbers on this, but I just wrote a piece for 1500ESPN.com where I touched on this. He's had, I believe, 7 starts this year where he's given up at least 5 earned runs. And that's just, for no matter how long your start is, that's frankly unacceptable. I wrote a piece after his most recent start when he did go 6 innings and 1 earned run allowed, that the Twins expect a much better second half out of him. Terry Ryan said as much. Ron Gardenhire said as much. They said his track record's too long. He's healthy. From every indication we have, he should be better than this in the second half. And I am inclined to believe that, and I'm inclined to agree with them. This was not a good start at all for the mathematical start of the second half for Nolasco, and you can't continue to tolerate this if you're the Twins.
Your best guess, short term, what do they do to try to get him back on track? Bullpen, skip a start. What's your best guess?
I think I would skip a start, but I don't know. They have more information than I do on this stuff. They know what he's dealing with more than I do, and frankly, they know how the rest of their rotation sets up better than I do too. I think
All-Star break though, so you might have some built-in
exactly.
Here.
I think that the bullpen would be a little bit of a drastic move right now, especially given what you pay the guy. But ultimately, you have to make a decision that's going to be, to use the cliche, best for the team. And right now, Ricky Nolasco starting is not best for the Twins.
All right, our work is done here, at least video-wise. He's Derek Wetmore. Read his stuff. A senior editor, 1500ESPN.com, also covers the Twins. I'm Judd Zolgad on with Phil Mackey at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every weekday. Thanks for coming to 1500ESPN.com.